A year ago, I had the crazy idea to take a Japanese mini truck and turn it into a travel camper. So last winter, I did exactly that. I had one imported into the States, and with the help of some friends, I designed and built my new mini truck rig. While the project proved to be way more challenging than I thought it would be, the build is finally finished and it's ready to go on its maiden voyage up the California coast along the infamous and scenic Route 1. I truly couldn't have done something like this without the help and support of you guys. So as always, I truly appreciate it, and I really hope you enjoy, and thank you so much for watching. So it's currently 11:59. Cops came and kicked both me and Alan. It's over there, out of our spots. Beautiful. Alright, so I had to close the door because it's a little bit noisy out there with the highway, but today is the inaugural trip of the Japanese mini truck camper. So I've got everything mostly finished. There's still a few small things that I have to get done, but since the last time you guys saw me, we got some new tires on this thing. Look at the tread on those bad boys. Nice, not dry rotted. I'm not worried about them exploding. So that's good. And then second, since the back of this camper weighs a bit more than just the truck bed weighs, the back end was sagging. So I had some custom leaf springs made to lift this thing back up, give them some arch and a little bit more spring so I'm not swaying as much while I'm driving around. And they've been absolutely amazing. I drove this thing around for like 3 hours the other day. And I drove like a champ. But other than that, she's pretty much the same on the outside. The inside got some new upgrades. We got a plant up there, and then these are just Velcroed up. So it's just a blackout curtain that I cut out and then Velcroed to the wall to cover up my windows and the door over here so I can have some privacy tonight. These are just temporary. They actually don't look too bad. And then we've got our lagoon table all finished up. I'll step in. It's quite a big step to get in here though because the leaf spring raised it about 4 inches. So it's like waist high. So it's quite a step to get in here. But got a lagoon table. Can't really tell, but I etched a topographic map of the Brooks Range in Alaska on there. Should have etched it a little deeper, but still looks good. I didn't finish the couch cushions either. So I'm gonna get these wrapped in a nice kind of fabric, but for now, this is just a sheet that's draped around them. And then for this trip, we've just got the essentials: fork, spoon, plate, and then a cooktop, some other cooking utensils, and then some pots and pans down there. And I got some other stuff stored in these little cubbies down here. But other than that, that is pretty much it for what has changed since I last saw you guys. And if you're wondering where I'm at right now, what this shop is, it's my new shop. Well, not entirely my new shop because I'm sharing it. If you remember when I was building the mini truck and on my road trip, I had a friend named Kyle who was starting a YouTube channel.
Enforcement's have arrived. What's up?
So this is Kyle and Nick, and since then I have decided to help him start his own YouTube channel. So we got this shop space here for him and for me to build on his new channel, The Chop Shop, where we're gonna be building the craziest, coolest campers, kind of like this one. And Kyle's gonna be the one primarily building them all. And whenever I'm around, not traveling in whatever crazy camper I've built, I will be here helping him. So we just moved in a few days ago, but a bunch of cool stuff is gonna be happening here. And I'm super excited about it, so make sure you guys subscribe to them. If you wanna see those, and occasionally me on another channel, I'll link their stuff down in the description. But I think it's time to get out of here. She has been itching for a trip for the last 6 months since I've been building her. I think it's finally time to go. Go ahead and get this turned off. And this is also hooked up to solar, so it's at, I'll turn it back on. It's at 64% right now. So we'll see. This is the first dry run of everything to see what works, what doesn't work, what I want to add back here for when I go on my big trip, what I want to take out, and then what I want to do differently. So just kind of a test run today. But we'll see how much solar we get in to this battery bank here. Oh, and that's the wrong side. I always forget this thing is right-hand drive. Yeah. Not the most spacious driver's seat. My knees are pretty much up against the steering wheel. If I get in an accident, I'm pretty much dead. There is no safety features in this thing, no airbags. I don't even think this is safety glass. I'm pretty sure this just shatters into sharp shards. At least I think they don't use safety glass, at least on these older vehicles in Japan. So I might get that changed soon. First up, I think we gotta go pick up some groceries. Apologize for the beep. And this thing actually goes decently fast, even with all the weight on it, if I'm on flat ground. If I'm on a hill though, it's a completely different story. Max I'm going is 20 miles an hour, but I can make it up it low and slow. Right now we are going just about 60 kilometers per hour. We're slowing down now because there's a big bump. But 60 kilometers per hour is roughly this. I don't know the exact calculation for it. And also when I put in my GPS, I have to type the option to avoid highways, because even though this thing technically can go on highways, there is no chance I would feel safe in any way driving this death trap at 60 miles an hour down the highway. And the turn signal's on the opposite side, so I always accidentally turn on the windshield wipers when I'm trying to turn. It also does have a radio, but I've tried to tune it to every station. Oh. And it doesn't really pick up much. No music for now, until I get a radio installed. Also, I'll show you guys once this light turns green. But when you're pressing the gas, it legitimately sounds like you're turning on a lawnmower. And the funny thing about these doors, I think it was a safety mechanism so you didn't lock your keys in your cars, but if you push this down and then close the door, it pops back up, so the only way to lock it is from the outside. I also want to make sure my back door is locked. There we go. And even though this thing does have some pretty decent pickup, even with all that weight on the back, it still takes about 2 business days to go 0 to 60 in it. So today, in honor of the first day of camping in the Japanese mini truck, I figured we would cook a Japanese dish. And since I recently cooked ramen, not doing that. And instead we're gonna do gyudon, which is a pretty simple dish. Gyu means beef and don means rice bowl. So we're making a beef rice bowl. She's so beautiful. I don't know if the camera does any justice for how small this thing looks in person. It's so crazy to see it. One thing I do have to figure out though, in the long term, is how I'm gonna store my food, because I don't have a fridge. So I'll definitely need to figure that out. But for now, I've actually never seen it before. This place had dry ice. I don't know why, but it'll keep my steak nice and cold until we cook it tonight. Oh, it's so cold. That's my portable refrigerator. And the rest of this dry ice I'm just gonna use to keep my drinks cold. So I'm hoping I can find a spot to what I'll call stealth camping, albeit it's very difficult to call anything in this vehicle stealth camping, down on the bay. And I'm just kind of hoping we find a spot, but I think we will. Oh, it's hot. This thing does have AC. I've actually never used it. I've kind of been scared to use it while driving because I don't want to overheat the engine, but wow, that is actually nice and cold. Who would have thought? AC, heat. I don't know what this little econ button does. Maybe that's economy AC. Anyways, get that off because the window's down is enough. I also need a backup camera because I cannot see anything when I'm backing up in this thing. Just barely reaches, but it reaches. Japan. Taking it out for a test drive.
That is wicked cool.
Appreciate it. That is one thing that always happens without fail. When I'm driving this, every time I stop it, someone says something. It's pretty cool. Woo, she's cruising. Look at that, beautiful day. Definitely going slower than the other cars, but we're going pretty fast. Over 80, almost over 80. And she's got more. We're past 80. Almost going 90 kilometers an hour, which is this. All right, so we're pulling down on this little island to look for a spot, hopefully to stealth camp tonight. So ideally I'm looking for a spot like one of those, but it looks like most of them are taken. All right, I think we're getting lucky though. We might have found a spot. Most of these other lots over here have no overnight parking signs. The only sign here is 3-hour parking from 3 to 6, and it is almost 6 p.m. already. So this is gonna be camp for the night, right on the water. I brought some fishing gear too, do some fishing tonight, get some practice in. Oh God. Oh, it's dark in here. There we go. Oh, it's so cozy in here. Pop the fan, get some airflow going. And then these just kind of, okay. Pull down with Velcro to let some light in. Open up these windows, get some air coming through. Well, I'm gonna come up with a more permanent solution for these windows. But honestly, for now, those covers honestly work pretty good. Might use these for a little while. And honestly, despite the tiny size in here, it doesn't really feel too cramped. I mean, I can stand fully straight up pretty much from here until here. So about 2 feet of standing straight up right where I'm gonna be cooking tonight, which is perfect. But everywhere else I do kind of have to crouch, but it's not really too bad. I'm actually very surprised I got away with keeping it as tall as I did. I really thought it was gonna be overly ambitious to wanna be able to stand back here, but honestly, it makes it so much easier for hanging out. And I'm really excited to test this bed out. See how well it works tonight. But this table is perfect. It slides out right here for me to be able to have dinner on. Then I can tuck it away over on this side, or I can swing it around and tuck it away kind of over there, even more out of the way. The fact that it's so small makes it feel, for some reason, so cozy. It's nice. But now that we've got our spot, we're all settled in. We got this camp stove for cooking tonight. I actually bought this one because it's much more compact. So this was the cooker I was originally going to use. Because it fits in this drawer. It's nice and small. It's got 2 burners, but it didn't come with the propane attachment hose, so I can't hook it up to any tanks. So sadly, I have to return this and order another one. And so I can't use it for this trip. But this will be what I use for cooking in here. I bought this one temporarily. It's much bigger and kind of a lot harder to find a place where it fits, but it's good for this first temporary trip. But brought some of my fishing gear, so before we cook some dinner, go see if we can catch something. Oh, and also, in case you were wondering, the battery bank is at 82%. 82% down here. We're still getting power in though, so we're actually getting more power in, so it's still charging right now with a little bit of sun we have left. But we'll turn these lights off to not waste any power while we're outside. I also moved the mini truck back one spot because I want that back spot over there so I can open my back door and not have anyone behind me. So every time a spot opens, I'm just gonna back up into it. We'll go down here and cast a few. Ooh, almost bit the dust on that one. Fishing went exactly as he usually does. Didn't catch anything. Was out there for about 45 minutes to an hour. I didn't really expect to catch anything, but there was a little mini mart right around the corner over there, like a deli for the marina. So I picked up some chips as a little snack, paper towels, and another Diet Coke because I guess I didn't realize how cold dry ice really is, but it froze my other Pepsi completely solid and started to freeze my steak, so I had to take that out. When I was walking back, I want to give you guys a little bit of perspective on the size of the mini truck, because it was almost comical looking at it from across the road and how much space my car takes up in a parking spot versus a normal sized car. Those are normal sized cars, and that's how much space they take up. And then there's mine. You could probably park 3 of them in that parking space. It just looks so goofy sitting there. The sun is probably gonna start setting here soon, so I'm gonna get started cooking dinner. And I don't know what happened while I was out there fishing, but there are, quite honestly, a million sailboats all over the place out there. I don't know what's going on today, but there's so many of them out there. But I'm getting hungry, so let's cook some gyudon. There she is, our cooktop for the night. Definitely way too big for the space, but I think for now, we'll set that to the side while we get everything prepped up. It's like it's snowed in here. All right. Got ourselves a bit more organized over here. So the only thing we have to prep for this meal is an onion and some ginger. You can also use burdock root. I couldn't find any, obviously, at the store. If you go to an Asian specialty store, you might be able to find it, but ginger is a good substitute. And the whole purpose of this trip is kind of to figure out what's the best way to go about laying out all of the stuff in the back of the mini truck. Because there's a million things that I didn't think about while I was building it that I'll probably realize tonight and or in the next few days. So this is a good trial run to kind of figure out what works, what doesn't work, and how to best do it. And this onion will not peel. Oh wow. I've always seen people do this, but I've never done it myself, peeling ginger with a spoon. It's much faster than it is with a peeler. Wow, who would have thought? And that is pretty much it for the prep of the veggies. Still gotta prep the meat. And if you are going to do this yourself, you do want to make sure it's pretty thin because it's going to be cooking in kind of a broth. So you don't want it to take too long to cook. Some dude just walked by and said, I like that K-truck better than the Porsche. There we go. That should be enough. I really do wish I was able to use my other grill. But nonetheless, here we are. First thing we got to do before we can do anything else with this dish is get this rice cooking, because that is going to take the longest. I'm going to get that going. Normally you'd want to wash your rice, but I'm not going to worry about that in the truck. Eyeball in the water there. Looks about right. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. We'll bring that to a boil and we'll let that cook for right around 10 minutes. I also am just now realizing that I forgot to bring a lid for my pot, so we're just gonna have to do the best that we can on cooking this rice without a lid. Made a makeshift lid out of my other pot. Also, we'll wait for that to boil. I forgot there's a bunch of cool stuff you can do with dry ice as long as you don't hold it for too long at a time. I remember if you like put it in a spoon, if I can find where my spoon is, it'll sizzle. Haha.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Rice is done, supposedly. Alright, so that rice definitely was not cooked all the way, so add a little more water, got it back in there, but I'll show you guys how much of a cross draft this window has. Blowing in so much air, and that's with the fan off, just with both windows open. A lot of airflow coming through. There we go. That looks like a little bit better cooked rice. First things first, We're gonna get the sauce, and I'm just gonna do that directly in this pan. Before we do that, I'm gonna get this rice scraped out into the bowl because I will need this pot again for cooking an egg up. I'll get that boiling while we work on the sauce. And for that, we need about a half cup of water. It's about a third of a cup of mirin, or sweet cooking sake, and a little bit over a third of a cup of soy sauce. And then finally, I don't have any measuring spoons, about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And then the final ingredient is optional. I just had some left over from the ramen I cooked, but this is just dashi powder, which is basically just kombu water, aka kelp water. So since I had it, I'll add it in there, but you don't have to. Just sprinkle a little bit of that in there. Just gives it that nice umami flavor. And then we'll mix that up and get it all nice and incorporated and bring that to a boil. And it looks like our water is boiling, so we can go ahead and throw our egg into there. And we're going for a soft boil, so right around 7 minutes. And then we can go ahead and add our vegetables into our sauce. And this smells absolutely heavenly. We can go ahead and add in our meat. And I'm gonna try to lay this in here as evenly as I possibly can. Throw that in there. And we can go ahead and let that stew for right around 5-ish minutes until the meat cooks thoroughly through, and that egg has got another 2 minutes on it. There's the timer for our egg, and you're supposed to take this egg out and put it right in a bowl of ice cold water. I don't have that, but I do have dry ice, so I'm just gonna set that on top of there for like 3 or 4 minutes, let it cool down. And this has about another maybe 1 to 2 minutes, and it looks, can't really see because it's so steamy, but it looks so good. There we go. That is pretty much it. Get the fire turned off. We'll plate up some dinner. Egg is still in its little ice bath, cooling down a little bit. This looks so good. Just take that and top our rice. That. Beautiful. And we have the final piece, our hopefully soft-boiled egg. Not gonna lie, being in here does make me miss having the van and a 30-gallon water tank and not a foot pump I have to press to get water to come out. Moment of truth. It's like almost soft-boiled. I think I cooked it a little bit too long. Last time it was a lot better. Wow. First time having this, and this is definitely going in the bank as a meal I will be cooking again. This is really good. Honestly, it could have used a little bit of kick to it, like if I added a little bit of spice. I think that would have made it a lot better, but I think overall I'd probably give it a 7.4 out of 10. But I'm not gonna lie, the mini truck has handled way better than I thought it would. I'm very excited for all of the adventures I'm gonna take this thing on. I think, since I can't take this thing on highways, first place I'm gonna do, or the first road trip I'm gonna do, I haven't really planned it out yet, is I'm gonna drive this thing up Route 1 in California. I'll just drive it up the coast since that's not really a highway. It's kind of like a byway. Speeds aren't too high. And I can kind of cruise along and not really have to worry about someone hitting me going 80 and completely crushing the entire truck. But when I finish dinner, I will check in with you guys when I'm finished. Honestly, overall first experience, definitely a lot smaller. Definitely a lot more work to cook something and find places for everything and put stuff away, but honestly not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's actually pretty convenient cooking in here despite how small this space is, and once I get it kind of better organized and figure out exactly where I want to put everything and kind of how I'm going to make this work as seamlessly as possible, I don't think it'll be too bad, if I'm going to be honest. The only major thing that I have left to add to my camping setup here is a gaming setup with my Xbox, which I think I'm gonna mount a TV to that wall right there, and then kind of have this table and have the TV right there, so I can also watch it when I'm laying. Whoa. Someone just drove by at like 100 miles an hour. Anyways, gaming monitor there, Xbox under the table. I'll be able to play here and watch while I'm laying in bed. But in the meantime, I do have my new gaming laptop. So I figured I'd give the mini truck its first test in all facets: cooking, sleeping, and gaming. And I also kind of wanted to see how much power I used up in a normal night. I don't know if you guys can see that. Still 70% battery left, and I've had the lights and fan on for the last, I don't know, 4 hours. But I will leave that on all night, let my laptop charge once I'm done playing some video games, and we'll see how much we have left. I'm just gonna connect to my phone's hotspot because I don't have any Wi-Fi in this rig yet. And for some reason, all my stuff from my Xbox won't load over into my laptop, so I'm gonna just start over with this account. But like the van, I like to have two lighting modes. One is for maximum light when I'm trying to do stuff in the van, and then one for night mode. So that is my night mode light when I'm kind of winding down in the van and I don't want the bright lights on top. I can just leave that one on and it's more than enough light for doing whatever I'm gonna do. AKA complete my ranked matches in Rocket League. Alright, we're done playing video games. Everything's kind of cleaned up. It's time to test out the slide out bed. I'll turn on my lights so you can see a little better. Test out the sliding bed, see how well that works, and see if we get a comfortable night's sleep. I will say one thing, laying on this without it pulled out is just a little bit too skinny. Like my arm kind of hangs off, so when I'm trying to sit here and look at my phone, it's like a lot of work to keep it up. Other than that, it's not too bad. This is one thing I swore I would never have in a vehicle, is a bed that you have to build and make every single night. But there was just really no other option with the mini truck. I had to do something. I'm really glad I didn't go with the build-a-bed up here, because that would have been so much work. But yeah, got a nice little compact comforter. Oh, this thing is tiny. There we go, that's the bed. I just gotta hope none of these planks break as I go to sit on it, because I already broke two of them. I honestly wish I could have done a little bit thicker foam, but anything thicker and I wouldn't be able to sit on it when it was set up as a couch. Definitely have to get a bigger blanket than this one. It's a little too tiny, but it is pretty comfortable. But it is getting late, so I will catch you guys in the morning. Good morning. I didn't get the best night's sleep last night, but it definitely could have been worse. Not because of the mini truck, there was just people outside and cars driving by that were super loud. But the bed was definitely comfortable enough. It wasn't the most comfortable bed I've ever slept in, but oh, my back. Overall, great first night. Nice still morning. A little bit of overcast, keeping it kind of cooler back here. Just like that, we're back in day mode. So far, overall though, I'm really happy with how the truck camper came out, how everything's working, how everything fits back here. I just need to get myself a little bit kind of more organized and figure out the best way to do everything. Because I'm so used to having everything at my fingertips with living in a van and not really having to worry about it. But here I gotta be a little bit more creative. So we still have power. We didn't run out. Lights still come on. 31%. We used a decent amount keeping the fan on all night last night. Maybe I will upgrade that power bank to something bigger. But I think that's it for this video. I want to be getting out of here, taking this thing back to the shop, and maybe making some changes from the things that I learned on this trip before I take it up the coast on that big trip up to however far north I make it. But I'll catch you guys next time. Appreciate it. New trick I learned from the comments. Push that down and you hold the handle up, it'll stay locked. Need to get a charger for the front of my truck so I can charge my phone up there, because I don't have any way to charge it. But today's the day that we're starting our 600 mile, hopefully, road trip up to San Francisco, down Route 1 in the back of my Japanese mini truck. And as you guys can see, since the last video, we've made some upgrades to the exterior in the form of these paint lines. And this was inspired by another Mitsubishi Delicia, I don't know, another Mitsubishi Japanese camper that inspired these lines in these colors. I still need to add some more to the back, but the lines came out pretty good for doing it myself. I spent the last 4 days doing them. I've also made some upgrades to the interior, which I'll kind of get into later, but we have a fridge, working fridge back here, and then some bungee netting that you might not be able to see holding the stuff in down there. But I'm currently at a Walmart to get some supplies, some food, and we're heading north. Thank you. All right, that should be everything. We got some essentials too, like some drinking water. But I wanted to make this first trip kind of light because I just don't know how much space I'm realistically gonna have, but should be able to fit all of this back in there somewhere. Look at her. So beautiful. So overall for this trip, majority of it is gonna be spent on Route 1, which is technically a highway, but it's not like a multi-lane highway. It's kind of like a scenic byway. Historic Route 1 in California is going to be pretty much the road that I'm staying on the entire trip. But between here and where I'm camping tonight, there is one stretch of highway that I will have to drive on in order to get onto the rest of Route 1 between Oceanside and San Clemente. So I'm a little bit nervous for that, but other than that, Route 1 should be pretty easy. Other than the hills, we'll just have to go them low and slow. But our challenge today with this 500cc, 50 horsepower Daihatsu Hijet is going to be that stretch of highway. So this is the upgrade I'm most excited about in here. This fridge I got locked away back here. So since I just turned my power station on, it is not cooled down yet, but it should be cooled down by the time I get there. But we've got a fridge and a freezer section. Freezer is down to 0, fridge is down to 39 degrees, or it will get down there. So really not a lot can fit in there, to be honest, but it is better than nothing. Got a nice pad because this is the most uncomfortable seat in the world. And there are no cup holders, I forgot. And I actually have no idea if this cigarette lighter even works. I would assume it does because there's still the old charger that the guy from Japan had in here before me. This one, it goes up to this charger that was, I'm guessing, for some sort of GPS unit. And we're charging. So we've got a 30-minute drive off highway until we get to that 20-mile stretch that we got to drive. Let's hit the road. All right, we are coming up on the end of our back roads up here. Got about another mile until we gotta get on the highway. It's only about 20 minutes on the highway. Well, 20 minutes in a normal car is 20 miles, so it'll probably take me around 35 minutes at 45 to 50 miles an hour to get through this stretch of highway. But this should be the only stretch of major highway that we have to take for this entire trip, so at least I'm getting it over with in the beginning. First time taking this thing on the interstate. All right, so we're going about 90 kilometers an hour, cruising along pretty easily. I think that's right around 55, maybe 60, but we're keeping up with traffic. Every time one of these big trucks passes me, I can feel it pulling me in and pushing me out as it passes. So that right there is why there's no way around this highway, is because on both sides you have Camp Pendleton and a bunch of military bases and training facilities, so there's no way through this area unless you go all the way around those mountains over there. If I had driven around those mountains, it would have added another 3 hours to my trip. We made it. The car's doing fine, so it seems. Engine's not too hot. We're still driving, so call that a win. That was probably the part of the drive that I was the most stressed about, so glad to be through that. So now that we're done with that, we got about another hour of side roads until we get to where we're camping tonight. And it would be a 20-minute drive if I could ride on the highway, which technically I can. I just honestly, personal preference, don't really feel like I need to if I don't have to. I'd rather take a little bit longer and get there a little bit later than have to drive on the highway just because it scares the shit out of me. But got about an hour left till we get to our spot. All All right, so we're about 5 minutes from where we're camping tonight, and I'm looking for a spot somewhere on the street up here, but it is so packed this weekend that I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find one, to be honest. So many people. All right, so we're hopefully looking for a spot up here somewhere, because I know that you can stay in these spots overnight.
Dude, that's sick.
Appreciate it.
Never seen that before. That's so cool.
All right, it says motorcycle and golf cart parking only, but I feel like I could qualify as a golf cart. I don't know how they vet these spots, whether it's a motorcycle or a golf cart. I think this would probably qualify as a golf cart, but the only metric it says, please park between the lines. My little car definitely fits between the lines. And that's not a golf cart. So there we go. This is home for the night. Beautiful spot right here on the beach. Go check out that park in a second. See how much power we got. So we've had the fridge running the whole time. We're still at 99% because we've also had solar coming in. So let's see if the fridge has cooled down. Oh, beautiful. Freezer's at 0. Fridge is at 39. Oh, and everything's nice and cold. I would have thought, and this thing is super efficient. It only draws like 50 watts at full power. And it's a chest style fridge, which these styles of fridge are more efficient because it keeps the cool air in when you open the door. Like if you have a front loading fridge, all the cold air flows out. This stays in there, so it's a little bit more efficient. But first campsite of the trip, not bad. Beautiful day out. Nice spot too. Right next to all these $1 million houses, you got my little mini truck. Look at this. I mean, this is beautiful. Cannot beat this. It's like a tropical paradise. So that spot that I'm parked in is paid until 8 p.m. And then tomorrow morning, when I wake up at 6, I'll just pay the meter for like another 2 hours and I'll get out of here so I don't have to leave at 6 a.m. But I'm pretty sure after the paid hours, you can stay there overnight completely free. But I guess we'll find out if I get a ticket. A lot of people. But I will say this is nothing compared to East Coast beaches. East Coast beaches are packed to the brim with people. But this is why I hate traveling on holiday weekends. It was the 4th on Wednesday. So this is like the 4th of July crowd all out on the beach. Just makes it tougher to find parking, driving, but it does make things a little bit more lively.
I see the bestest leaning for a big kiss, but his favorite perfume.
Can I just do a single scoop of vanilla and a cone? Thank you. Thank you very much. There we go. I'm a simple man. Just need some vanilla. Some good ice cream.
Summer days, thank you, rock
welcome.
and roll, the way you play.
Nice part about stealth camping in city areas too is that there's stuff to do when you get there. Like when I'm camped out in a spot in the middle of nowhere, I pull up and I'm in the desert or I'm in wherever I'm at, there's not really much to do. I can't walk around and get an ice cream cone or whatever else I want to do. I feel like this town is exactly what people imagine when they think California if they've never been here. It doesn't really get more California beach town than this. Doing good so far, no tickets. But I definitely didn't lock the back of my camper when I went on my walk. Oh gosh, it's such a step to get in here. Should have left these windows open when I left, to be honest. It is hot. But I'm hungry. I might wait for it to cool down in here a little bit before I get started cooking. But I did get the propane attachment for my compact grill. So I don't have to use that big one anymore. I can use this nice small one. And it came with this little grill part. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna use that to grill some chicken tonight. So it's cooled off in here a little bit now that I got the fan going for a little while and the window's open and the sun is set, so it's like not as beaten down on the top of the truck. I'm gonna get my window shade put up on this side though, because there's so many people walking by. But for dinner tonight, I'm gonna do kind of a modified bourbon chicken and rice. So we're gonna keep it pretty simple. And I got some minute rice. I don't feel like waiting for regular rice. These. And I think in this mini truck, I'm gonna have to keep the meals a little bit more simple, just because I don't have as much access to utensils, seasonings, foods. So we're gonna keep it somewhat simple tonight. First things first, let's get our chicken seasoned. Left my Japanese chef knife at home. So let's get our chicken patted dry. I'm gonna season it in this bag just to keep it easy. I'll get seasonings and stuff everywhere. But we're basically just gonna put some all-purpose seasoning along with some garlic powder and then some salt. And we'll get that nice and coated, seasoned up. So I've never used this stove before. I'm kind of just hoping that it works. Okay, why? This is the second issue I've run into with this stove. It doesn't even fit. I guess this is meant for those smaller propane canisters. But in the picture online, it showed it hooking up to a propane canister like this. I guess we won't be doing bourbon chicken tonight. We'll be doing it tomorrow when I can figure out how to get a propane attachment that fits this stove. It's a good thing we're in the town because I'm just gonna go pick up something for dinner. I'm gonna go walk around and see what I can find. Run back real quick. Secured. Honestly, not even too upset that I didn't get to cook dinner tonight because pizza sounds so good. We got some, honestly, I don't know what this is. It's like a Hawaiian with some tomato on it. And then just your standard meat lovers. Some ranch. I also ran into my buddy Carter, him and his wife Maggie. They're out here, just so happened to walk by them getting dinner with one of their friends. So he might come by in a little bit and we might go hang out in town tonight. Also, these 3 slices of pizza, $30. Dinner complete. Didn't go the way I wanted it to go, but my friend just texted me that he finished eating dinner, so I'm gonna walk down back to the main street and hang out with them for a little bit before we close up shop in here tonight and go to bed. And we're back. And I bought this Garfield drawing from some lady at the restaurant we went to. I don't know why. I put it up somewhere as a decoration in the mini truck. But it is late, so we gotta get ready for bed. Because I do have to be up kind of early tomorrow to get out of here before those parking meters start, so I don't get a ticket, but bed's all set up. I don't really think I'll need much more than a sheet tonight. It's definitely not hot out, but it is definitely not a comforter kind of night. Morning. It's a little cloudy out today, but it was surprisingly really quiet on the street last night. I slept pretty decent. I will say though, between this bed and the paper thin seat cushions up in the front of the truck that I have to sit in when I'm driving, my back is definitely not going to be feeling very well at the end of this trip. Ready for the night? No ticket. So see, I think there's a bathroom right there too, which is something that I didn't think about in my mini truck. Well, I did think about, but there's just not enough space for a bathroom, so it's gonna be a jug, and then wherever I can find somewhere in public to go. All right, technically this campsite has cost me $6, I think, maybe $9, but since my cooktop is not working, I'm gonna go find somewhere to get some breakfast. I figured I should walk back over here, eat my breakfast sandwich at the beach. I think I'm gonna finish this and what's left of my coffee and then get out of here and continue my journey in the mini truck up north. As always, truly appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, please take it by clicking that subscribe button. It really does help out the channel, and I will catch you guys next time. Because although it is pretty beautiful on this side, we got the ocean. On this side, we've got the Pacific Coast Highway. So there's cars constantly driving by like overnight. But honestly, it wasn't too bad until a motorcycle drove by. It was like a jump scare, would wake me up out of my sleep. So since my last video, we have kind of made our way up the Pacific Coast Highway, just past LA. So you can kind of see LA in the distance back there, but we passed LA, drove up here, and then just camped on this spot on the side of the road. I also just so happened to run into my friend last night, Alan, who I know from Instagram, who was camped up behind me, but he went out early this morning to go for a run and to go surfing. But I think he's gonna meet us back here before we get out of here for the day. Also, new information. I figured out that my stove does not take those little green Coleman propane tanks. It takes the butane blend mixture. So I went to the store yesterday, got some gas cans, and hopefully this time we should be able to cook some breakfast. Nice. Finally, I have a working stove in the van so I can cook myself some breakfast. Let's see, what are we gonna have? Let's just do a simple breakfast sandwich. I heard the gas coming out, but the igniter was not going. Okay, I guess the igniter doesn't work. But the grill does. I will say this is really slippery. I don't know if I really trust that. There we go. I think the plan for today is, I don't have a plan, but I know which direction I'm heading, and I know what road I'm staying on. Route 1. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Yeah, so once we finish up breakfast here, and my friend Alan gets back from his run, probably gonna head out of here and go wherever we're going today.
Never seen one like this. And the guy down here, he's got a box truck that he cut the side out of.
It's also something new I've had to get used to in this thing. Every time I'm driving on the road, at least 5 or 6 people pull up next to me and ask me about what this is, how I got it, where it's from, if it's a camper. I love it. I love talking to people about it. It was also crazy. Last night, these waves got so big that it felt like it shook the entire truck. It might have just been cars driving by. But when they curl up like that and they slam into the rocks, sometimes they crash perfectly on the edge of the rocks and splash up. And it sounds like a grenade going off. But anyways, just sitting around till my friend gets back. I'll check him when he gets here. I do miss having an automatic water pump for my other van though. Using this foot pump is kind of a pain, especially when I'm barefoot. It kind of hurts. But I will say I have been pleasantly surprised with how comfortable it is to camp in this thing. Being able to stand up, lay down. I think when I first did this build, I thought it was going to be super impractical, and I kind of second-guessed myself a lot, and thought I kind of should have done something more like a pop-up, something more lightweight, something that's a little bit more practical for a vehicle of this size. But at the end of the day, that's been done before. Something this big on the back of a mini truck has never been done before, and I would have never known if it would have worked if I hadn't just done it. So I'm glad that I built it this way. And I'm not gonna lie, I did get in my head a little bit reading the comments when I was building it, with people saying this is never gonna work, that's way too much weight on the back of that truck. And for a while I really did think that those comments were right, but after being in here for the past 3 days, I don't know, it's pretty comfortable. Yo, what's up? What's up, pup? What's up, pup? How you doing? How you doing?
How's breakfast, dude?
It was good.
Hell yeah.
This is my buddy Alan.
What's up?
Met him from Instagram literally yesterday.
Hell yeah.
But he left this morning to go surfing. He went for a run. Did you go surfing or no?
Nah, I ended up going for a run.
Okay, yeah.
Instead.
Did the pup go with you?
Nah, she stayed in the car.
What's up?
It was a little bit flat when I got there in the morning. So
Yeah.
I decided to go for a run, but it was looking nice now when I got back.
But yeah, this is Alan's van. He lives in here. He's been doing it for how long? 2 years?
2 years.
2 years?
Yes, sir.
So this is his van. It's a Sprinter van. A little bit nicer than the ProMaster. Is it 4-wheel drive?
I wish.
Yeah.
Is yours 4-wheel drive?
No, I wish.
Dude.
I mean, this thing is.
Oh,
The mini
really?
truck is 4-wheel drive, yeah. But
Hell yeah.
I haven't tested it out yet. Such a good dog. Such a good
Sit,
dog.
Mamita. Sit. Oh, that's a good girl. Other part. That's a very good girl. Up. Stay. Ah, stay, girl.
Good girl.
Cruise around there.
Yeah, go into the city and then
There.
get some stuff from there or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Good.
All right, I'll see you there. So I think before we head to our camp spot tonight, we're gonna go check out Malibu. So let's get on the road. All right, so the pier parking lot was full, and Alan said he knows a spot where we can park in town, so we're just gonna park in town and maybe walk around. There's a farmer's market going on, so there's actually not a lot of parking. We got lucky and someone was pulling out. And this thing's so easy to park. I don't even have to back into parallel park. I can just pull straight in. It's so tiny. Like, look how tiny it is. You can fit two of them in this parking spot. So many of these small beach towns in California are so beautiful. I've never been to Hawaii, but like when I come here, this is what I imagine Hawaii would be like. Yeah, I figured when we pulled up here, you didn't expect there to be a farmer's market.
Yeah, not at all,
park
dude.
here.
I'm like, wait, that's actually kind of sick.
Maybe I'll find some new decorations for the mini truck or something. Find some new decorations for the mini truck. Selling knives or you just sharpening them?
Do both.
It's pretty sick. It's like a mobile knife sharpening van. Got myself a new chef knife. Awesome.
brother.
Thank you very much. Look at that. Now I can cook with something. That's crazy. A little Bronco golf cart. I wonder if I could turn that thing into a camper. Got myself some new clothes. Walked by the kit store. Figured I use a little wardrobe update from the typical t-shirts and shorts I wear. So I got some shirts, and I love wearing hats. Got myself a new hat too. But we are getting out of here. We're gonna make one more pit stop before we get to our camp spot for the night. I'm hoping to get out into nature at least a little bit. Go to this spot up in the canyons to camp tonight. But before we head there, we're gonna head to this spot that supposedly has this cool sea cave that we're gonna check out. So many nice cars out here too. 2 McLarens, one after the other. And then right after that, a Porsche. And then there's me and my $5,000 Japanese mini truck. I also don't have a radio in here, so I got my speaker.
Breathing in, breathing out.
This is a cool little beach though. The water is so blue. I don't know if we're gonna be able to access the sea cave though. It is low tide right now, but it's not a very low tide. And you can only access it during low tide. I actually think that might be it right there. But there's also an arch there that looks pretty sick. Oh yeah, it does connect. It goes all the way through. Oh, that's so sick.
Bro.
Beautiful. This is so sick. There's a little spot over here too. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Damn, that's a sick like photo spot with the cave in the top.
For sure.
We're gonna go check out the camp spot now. See what it's looking like. And he really wants to come back down here and go surfing. I don't have a board, so he might come back down and surf, but we're gonna go get set up at camp. This is gonna be the mini truck's first real test on a big hill, I think. I think this is a steep canyon hill. See how she does driving up it. Sheesh. My pedal is on the floor. We are going 43 kilometers per hour. Low and slow, baby, low and slow. Look at that view though. Beautiful. Oh, we're cooking now. We're going 60 kilometers an hour. I think this is it right here. This is where we're gonna call home. Look at this. Look at that. It's definitely not the flattest, but it's not too bad. You see that? There was a bunch of surfers up at that one spot. Yeah. That was only like a mile down the road.
I go back there.
Okay. I'll be up here. Yeah.
See you later, bro.
See ya. Alright, this looks like it'd probably be the flattest spot down here. I might use some of these rocks to level her out. Look at these views. Look at that. I mean, if my mini truck can handle this hill, I feel like she can handle anything, honestly. This thing has performed in every way I could possibly imagine better than I expected her to. Driving, handling, sleeping, comfortability, everything so far exceeds what I expected. Look where she's taking me. I wonder if I can get her leveled out though. Just lift up this side a little bit. I think these pieces of asphalt might be perfect actually. Beautiful. But I think before I do anything else or cook any dinner, I'm gonna take a quick shower. I think I have one portable shower left. I have one shower left, but I should be making it into a beach town tomorrow, and I'll just take a beach shower there because every time you get to a small beach town, they have showers out on the beaches that you can take advantage of, which is the nice part about traveling down Route 1 is there's a plethora of showers because there is not a plethora of Planet Fitnesses where I can shower at, but these dude wipes are kind of a good in-between just to get that base level of grime off, make me feel a little bit cleaner. That feels better. I also do need to get a welcome mat for in here because I am tracking an aggressive amount of dirt in. I've tried to keep my shoes and all the dirt to this little corner of the van, and I put some socks on to keep most of the grime off my feet so I don't have to wipe them off before I go to bed tonight, since I do wear Birkenstocks everywhere. All right, so I was just about to get started cooking dinner and then I noticed this low fog rolling in just over the ocean. It's so low to the ground, very eerie. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but you can see it's like clear over there, and then there's just this layer of clouds covering the ground.
Is this yours?
Yeah.
Dude, it's so tight.
Appreciate it.
Is it for sale?
No, I just built it. This is my first trip in it, actually.
Really?
Oh, I swear you would think I'm driving a supercar with how many people come up to me or honk when I'm driving or pull up next to me and try to have a conversation with me. This thing gets so many looks that it's getting a bit ridiculous driving down the road, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love it. I'm proud of this thing, but I'm also hungry. And now that I have a working stove, I can finally make my bourbon chicken. And thankfully this recipe is super simple, so it shouldn't take too long to cook. So I did season some chicken yesterday in preparation for this recipe, but I accidentally put the seasoned chicken in the freezer and the unseasoned chicken not in the freezer. So I'm going to season up some more chicken just with some pretty standard all-purpose seasoning. And I'm hopefully going to be able to get a good char on these chicken thighs with this grill that I have. Because this little propane cooktop that I'm using to cook dinner came with this little attachment. And one thing I've kind of noticed with using this grill for the last 2 days is that there's one fatal flaw. You can't see the flame when the grill's on there, and it kind of sounds the same when it's just gas coming out versus when it actually has a flame. So it's kind of a little bit sketchy, honestly, using this. I don't know if I fully like it. I might try to get a different one for future trips. Some butter down on there. And get our chicken grilling. We'll cook that for right around 4 to 5 minutes on each side. I don't know why it's smoking so much. Never had my chicken smoke like that. Oh, well, that is cooking. I'm gonna get started on some rice over on this side. And yes, we're gonna be using instant rice. Get some water in the pot, and then bring that to a boil. Beautiful. That chicken looks so good. Water's boiling for the rice. And then the final thing I'm gonna have to do once this chicken is done is get the bourbon sauce going, but I'm gonna wait till we get this chicken cooked and start that. All right, so I think it was user error maybe on my end because I put the grill up. I think the grill was just too close to the flame, so it was getting too hot. That's why it was smoking so much. But I moved the grill up. It's not smoking as much anymore. Our water is almost boiling, and it's working a little better. All right, I think this chicken is done. Rice is over there finishing off. Now we can get started on the final step, making this bourbon sauce for our bourbon chicken. So for our sauce, we're gonna add some butter into the pan, let that get all nice and melted up, and throw in some garlic, some hoisin, some soy sauce, then a little bit of brown sugar, and you can kind of add just as much as you want of the brown sugar. Just depends on how sweet you want your chicken to be. And if you wanted to add a little spice, you could add a little spice. It's really up to you. I just don't have anything that I could add to make it spicy right now. Actually, I do have some chili powder. I'll throw that in there. Take that, mix all that together. A nice sauce. And we'll let that cook down and thicken up for like maybe 3 to 4 minutes. And actually, while I wait for that to thicken up, I'm going to get this chicken all cut up. Using my new Japanese chef knife I bought today. It's not the nicest, but it'll cut. Beautiful. And now that our sauce is thickened up a little bit, we can go ahead and throw our chicken back in there. Get it nice and covered. Look at that. Looks so good. Now all that's left to do, get it plated up. And now we can eat. And look who got back just in time. What's up, pup? What's up, pup? How you doing? And for anyone asking, I did offer to cook for Alan, but he's a vegetarian, so didn't have any options that kind of appealed to him. Oh, man, I'm starving. Oh. Cheers. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, this is so good, actually. And such a simple recipe. Did you see these clouds roll in while you were down there?
Not at all, dude.
It was so crazy when they first rolled in.
Yeah.
They rolled in from right to left and just covered the entire beach.
Sick, dude.
But yeah, make sure you guys follow Alan on Instagram as well. He's a nature photographer. He takes some sick photos. I'll put his stuff in the description below. There goes the drone. Oh wow, it's like perfect sunset.
Yeah, it looks insane.
This bourbon chicken, top tier. Up there with one of my favorite dinners I think I've made in the van so far. Only because of how simple it was and how flavorful it is. The sunset on the drone shots he's taking looks so epic. You can't see it from this side, but it's just cresting over the next mountain over. Looks so cool with these clouds. And this road isn't very heavily trafficked, so it will be a much better sleep than last night on Route 1. Look at that.
Sheesh.
Those clouds, the sun. Doesn't get much better than that for a sunset.
Too beautiful, dude.
He's moving his van to hopefully find a more level spot. But we were talking and we were saying sometimes you just can't get a level spot no matter what you do, even if you have leveling blocks or whatnot. And we were saying we prefer to sleep with our feet down as opposed to any other way, because if you sleep with your head down, your feet are above your head, you won't get a good night's sleep. And if you sleep rolled to either side, it just kind of feels like you're being pulled all night. But if you sleep feet down, it's really not that bad.
It's such a long day, dude, then I'm gonna sleep even if it was like completely sideways. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna sleep really well tonight. Ooh. Finally, no noise in the van. But yeah.
No weird music.
You got a chair? I'm done to sit outside for a little bit. Yeah, I miss having all my supplies in the van, tables and all the unnecessary stuff. Oh, beautiful. Let's see your
all right.
your snack creation. That's your favorite snack.
I got you, dude.
So it's cheese, jam, tapenade.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oof,
Thank you. Look at that.
Yes, sir. It's like such a nice combination of flavors between the crunch and the sweetness. You know what I mean? Oh, it's like so much going on.
Wow,
dude.
that is really good.
It's like takes you places.
It's
you
like
know?
sweet, salty. That's good.
Exactly, dude.
It's like that scene from Ratatouille. He used the cheese and the fruit. And there's all those
Bro,
like sparkles going off in his
What a
mouth.
great movie, dude.
Second video I ever did on YouTube was cooking ratatouille.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. How'd it come out? I've actually never.
Horrible.
Yeah. Was it difficult to cook?
No, it was just a horrible video. Don't watch that video. Morning. A little bit of a foggy morning. out today. But it was pretty nice and quiet last night. I really do need a shower today, a proper shower. I think probably get out of here pretty soon and head down to a beach town. Maybe we can find a beach shower. Ready to get out of here? Find the next spot?
Let's do it.
But anyways, I think that is it for this video. I'm gonna get out of here and find myself a shower. So I'm gonna get myself clean. Morning. So last night, this is where we slept, just kind of like in this small town in California. And it just so happens that there is a campsite right next door. And when I got here yesterday, I walked over there and I found out that they have hot showers. And I accidentally bought too many coins for the shower yesterday. So I'm gonna go use those this morning because I try to take advantage of any opportunity I can to get a hot shower when I'm camping on the road, especially in this thing. And I know what you guys are thinking. If there's a campground right there, why didn't I just get a spot in there? And the answer is, that spot was free. And two, why would I pay for a campsite surrounded by a million other people when I can sleep out here in relative peace on the street? Honestly, I feel like even if I did want a campground, I don't think I would have got one. This place is jam-packed with people. So today we are continuing our journey north up Route 1 on our way to San Francisco. And I just realized last night while I was looking up and planning my route that part of Route 1 is still closed. I thought it opened, but there was mudslides or something like that, and the road is still closed. So I think we're gonna be able to get as far north as Big Sur, or just south of Big Sur, before the road closure, and then we might have to backtrack and turn around and find another way to San Francisco. I'm not too worried about it. I didn't really have a plan kind of going into this trip other than my end destination, so I'm kind of keeping an open mind with where I'm gonna go. But before we do anything today, make breakfast. I also might need to get a different pan at some point because this one, it's just too slippery. I just can't, it like slides around too much. There's no grip. My other pans are fine, it's just this one specifically. So I've also been getting a lot of comments that the truck is a downgrade from the van. It's not as spacious, there's not as many amenities. That's not the reason that I built it. I didn't build it to be an upgrade from the mini truck. I just built it because I thought it would be a cool project and I kind of just wanted to see if it was possible. I've always liked mini trucks, I've always wanted one. I figured why not try to build a super cool camper on the back of one. I just thought it'd be fun for me, it'd be fun for you guys to watch, and overall just kind of be somewhat of a newer experience, but very happy with how it's going so far. And I'm sure my OCD followers will appreciate this, but I don't have the luxury of just leaving my dishes in the sink anymore because of how small this space is. So I've got to wash them. I also only have like 2 forks and 3 pans, so I don't have as many pans as I'm used to. And this foot pump, water pump, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard to press, and it hurts my foot when I'm barefoot. If you've watched my last few videos, I still am traveling with my friend Alan. He slept here last night. I don't know what happened, but he was sleeping just on the other side of the road here in those spots. And he texted me at like 10:45 saying that he got kicked out by a cop coming to knock on his door. But for some reason, I don't know why, because I'm in the most obvious camper you could probably be in, they didn't kick me out. And he just had to move into the neighborhood over there, so he didn't have to move too far. But we're gonna meet up with him before we hit the road again and continue on north. Before we head out, I am gonna make a quick run to the grocery store, grab some stuff, because since we're traveling with Alan, kind of in a new realm of cooking, because he's a vegetarian. So I want to get something that I can cook tonight that's vegetarian so we both can eat. So I'm gonna stop by the grocery store real quick. So I think I'm gonna do some sort of like a roasted chickpea Greek salad for dinner tonight. So I'll run real quick and get everything we need for that. Definitely gonna have to get my fridge organized real quick. There we go. I mean, that's good enough. I had to rip the egg carton in half, but it all fits. Good to go. Again, no radio. Gotta use a speaker for tunes on the drive. Let's roll.
Spoke of places I hadn't trust. And I'm not how you look.
Do you think about me now and then? Do you think about me now and then? What up? Who's winning? Spain takes it. Ready to get out of here? I'll send you the pin for that spot we're going to first. So we're heading up to the spot about an hour and a half north of here on Pismo Beach, where we can hopefully camp at outside of some sand dunes, get back into the wilderness a little bit. And I have two options. One, I could take Route 1, which is technically a highway, a little bit faster speeds, get there quicker, just ride in the slow lane, or I can take back roads the whole way there and add an extra hour. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet, but honestly, the way she's performed so far, I might just take the highway. But yeah, it's time to hit the road once more. Yeah, I got it shipped over here, then I'm dropping it up from San Diego. Alright, so I'm coming up on the spot where I think you can pull out onto the beach and camp. Those things are sick. And I'm hoping we can find a campsite out here. We'll see, I guess it depends on how packed it is. How's it going?
Good.
Do you, can you camp on the beach here?
Not on this part of the beach.
Not on this part?
A mile south of here in the dunes.
In order to camp on this beach, you have to drive all the way down at about a mile and a half through a creek in order to get to the spots where you can actually camp. I don't know if I trust the mini truck enough. I don't have a pump to air down my tires. I don't know if I feel like risking it, but I don't know. I got a camping patch just in case, but we'll see. I'm gonna pull down to the beach, wait for Alan to get here, and then we can kind of make a decision. All right. So we got 4-wheel drive engaged. Don't know if I'll necessarily need it because the sand is pretty compact, but since I didn't air down my tires, this looks like pretty nice sand, at least in the beginning. And I've also never used the 4-wheel drive, so I just want to use it.
How epic, dude.
This is sick. But I should have grabbed an air compressor on the way here so we could air down. We probably could have made it there, honestly. Either way, not worth the risk. We still get to hang out on the beach for the day. We just can't camp here. I decided to make that trip instead of taking the back roads. I took the highway.
Yeah.
Did you take the highway on the way here? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That mountain pass, I had no idea how steep it was.
Oh, so steep.
Yeah, I was going like.
Actually, when I was going through that, I was like, damn, thank God Brian was like, because I remember you telling me like, oh, I'm not gonna go through the mountains.
I ended up just sending it, and I was driving up that mountain pass. I was going like 30 miles an hour. I've never put like my pedal
Floor
to the
in
metal.
it?
Yeah, like my foot was pressed down as hard as it could be on that gas pedal.
Yeah.
Alila likes the water.
Alela.
So excited. Yeah, I had this thing screaming for 45 minutes driving up over that mountain pass on Route 1. Foot was pressed all the way down to the floor, and we were only going like maybe 35, 40 miles an hour. She made it, and that's all that matters. But I will not be taking the highway through that section on the way back. And we're allowed to stay here till 10 p.m. with our day passes, so we're probably just gonna hang out here until we go find somewhere nearby to camp. Making sure you're nice and sandy before you get back in the van. Oh yeah, you might be getting yelled at here. He's getting yelled at, I think, for not having the dog on a leash. But yeah, I got some stuff to make vegetarian dinner too, so I'll probably cook outside tonight on your table too. It doesn't get much better than this though. Only thing that would make this better is if we could camp here. I almost kind of do want to risk driving over that creek, but with the engine being under the vehicle, I just don't want to drive it through water and mess anything up. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there is a legitimate wall of clouds. Maybe 2-3 miles, could be 15, I actually have no idea. But that mountain range over there is like holding it off. So the clouds are blowing down this way, sticking off the coast for about another 5 or 10 miles down that way. So we're in like a little pocket of sun right in this little beach. And Alila had to get put in a doggy prison because dogs aren't allowed off the leash here.
I'm sorry, dude.
14th now. We brought to America. This is 7th
So Argentina game on.
Hey, let's go, baby.
Alila, don't shake anymore. You're gonna get me all sandy, dude.
Yeah, Lila, where's the game? Come on now.
Yeah. There you go, Argentina won. Moving on to the final, but I'm getting hungry. Alan moved his van over there, so his door's opening towards this side as opposed to opening that way, but let's make some dinner. We're cooking outside tonight. All right, first things first, we've got to get all of our ingredients prepped up, ready to go.
What are you about to chef up, bro?
Some tzatziki, what's it called? Tzatziki chickpea bowl.
Oh, fire.
There we go. Beautiful. Now that we've got all that done, we can start prepping up, cooking our chickpeas. So we got our pan nice and hot.
Hell yeah.
Throw in some olive oil. We can go ahead and drain those. And we can go ahead and add our chickpeas in. This is my first time ever making chickpeas. I love chickpeas, I eat them all the time, but I've never like cooked them. And then to that we can add just some of this Italian style seasoning. And then just a little bit of all-purpose seasoning. Keeping it really simple with that and get those nice and mixed together. And then we're gonna cook these for right around 7 minutes or until they get nice and crispy. Now that our water's boiling, we can go ahead and add our rice. Get that all stirred in there, and then we'll turn the heat off on that one and get it covered up, and that's pretty much it. Oh, these smell so good. Look at that sunset. After like 5 or 7 minutes, that's pretty much it. That's all we gotta cook up for this meal. Super simple beach meal. Let's get it plated up. Yes, sir. Just do rice on the bottom and then a little bit of a salad pack. Got some red onions in each. Tomatoes, cucumbers, a little bit of cilantro on the top.
Ooh, that looks delicious.
Top it off with the chickpeas.
Ooh. Yes, sir. Wow.
There's a beach dinner for two.
Dude.
I wanted to do like a tzatziki sauce on the top, but they didn't have any at the store, so I got fat free ranch.
That'll do. Hard to beat this one, bro. Yes, sir.
Dinner is served.
Let's get it.
I almost forgot, there is one final ingredient. Some feta cheese. You like feta cheese?
Actually don't, dude.
Really? Okay,
Actually
perfect.
don't.
Throw some of that on there. And before we eat, it's getting a little chilly out. Woo! Oh, look at that beautiful bowl.
Dude.
Couldn't be better.
Hell yeah, dude.
Every time I cook for someone on my channel, I have them rate it 1 out of 10. You got to be brutally honest. Like, if you were to get this at a restaurant, what would you rate it?
Dude, on this one bite, honestly, 9.2.
9.2.
You know what I mean?
That's a pretty. I think it
Up
might.
there.
I don't know if that's the high. I think that might be the highest score. What, the camper? It's a Japanese mini truck. I built the camper on the back of it. I don't know if I'd feel good selling to other people. I feel unsafe driving this thing. Appreciate it. Thanks, have a good one. Does kind of suck. We can only stay out here till 10, but I was looking on iOverlander a little bit earlier. There's a spot like right in town that we can camp at. Probably, I think it's just right on the street. It's just something, what we've been doing pretty much the entire time, just right on the street. That way we don't have to fight for a spot too, because I don't know, you guys can't see it on camera, but down there, where you can see the camping, like right on the edge there, a legitimate billion RVs. There's there's no space to walk around down there. But dinner was delicious. I might have to cook some more vegetarian meals more often, honestly. That's what I always tell people on my channel when they like ask what I eat when I'm not like cooking for a video. It's pretty much just rice bowls. Mini truck makes cooking a little bit harder because there's not as much space, but it's not too bad. Whoa, look at those birds. It's paid actors. Stars are hopefully going to be spectacular. That sunset is so beautiful. Unreal. But anyways, we're going to eat dinner, enjoy the sunset, check in with you guys a little bit later. All right, the tide is coming in a little bit higher. Sun is setting, so we're starting to clean up and kind of get out of here. Go find somewhere where we can camp for the night to get everything cleaned up. Sunset tonight was spectacular. Couldn't have asked for a better sunset. Best beach sunsets are when there's a thin layer of clouds high in the atmosphere for the sun to reflect off of. It's the only time a beach sunset is ever better than a mountain sunset is when there's some clouds in the sky. I've also never seen, I know you guys can't see much, but I've never seen this thing at night with the lights on, so I want to see how it looks. That is crazy cool. Oh, that looks so sick. I've never seen these lights at night. Not to do my own horn, but it looks professional. Looks good. But anyways, let's get out of here. Four-wheel drive on again. Definitely don't need four-wheel drive, but makes me feel kind of cool putting it on. Spot for the night. Right on the side of the road. It ain't pretty, but it'll work. I'll see you in the morning.
We'll move out there and then I got you on breakfast.
What are you making tomorrow? You're making
Arepas.
arepas?
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, I'll find out what that is tomorrow.
I bought some ham just for you.
Appreciate it.
Got you, dog.
Appreciate it. All right, I'll see you in the morning. Alrighty. Oh my gosh. So the one bad thing about the beach and beach camping is sand on your feet. So I'm gonna do my best to keep the sand over here. But at the end of the day, there's only so much you can do. Like when you can't take a full shower or rinse off your feet like my old man. And I'll just try to keep it all consolidated to the front of the truck. At least I can walk around without getting new sand on my feet. And the best thing about California beaches in the summer is they get so cool at night. So like anywhere else in the summer, like if I was in Arizona, there's a heat wave going on right now. It's like 115 degrees. I'd be baking alive back here, but I'm comfortable back here with all my windows closed and a hoodie on. So that's why beaches are ideal for van life in the summer. Get these windows open. Oh, I want to sleep so good tonight. Time to get the bed set up. And hit the hay because I am trying to get back to that beach early tomorrow morning if I can. Just take a day off, hang out there. So I will catch you guys in the morning. All right, so it's currently 11:59. Cops came and kicked both me and Alan. He's over there out of our spots. And apparently we were 500 feet past the city limit where they have a no overnight camping ordinance, and they said if we came back to this parking lot at this restaurant, we shouldn't get bothered. And there's no apparently overnight camping ordinance here, but we're gonna try to camp here. Hopefully it works. Morning. We didn't get kicked out, but since we're just parked out at some local restaurant in their parking lot, I figure we should get up kind of early. Get out of here. That way, no harm, no foul. The restaurant doesn't open until 11. We're out here by 7:15, so maybe I'll take a nap on the beach later. Since we didn't get a full night's sleep last night. And Alan just texted me, he's up. Morning. Morning. How'd you sleep?
Good.
Yeah.
And it turns out this was better. We're like right by the beach.
Yeah, we can just run in right there.
Wow.
So you're heading up there to see if the bathroom's open?
Yeah, that's over there.
Okay.
Because those over there were locked still.
All right, I'll meet you up there.
Okay.
I didn't even realize there's a beach entrance here. This one's different from the one that we went in on yesterday. Yeah, I'm excited because this morning Alan said he's making us some sort of breakfast. And he said he got ham just for me since he's a vegetarian, so. Let's get back to the beach, get some breakfast. Wrong side. Four-wheel drive mode engaged.
To anyone out there who wants to go fast.
I want to go fast.
Alright, and I guess this spot is as good as any to pull up into. Beautiful morning out here on the beach. So I was getting stuff out of the camper and Alan pulled up and got stuck here for like 20 minutes. We just had to dig him out. Now he's parked over there, unstuck. But Alila, when the cops came last night, you left something.
Oh,
Yeah. So what's going in this Venezuelan breakfast?
dude. Arepas. I'm
Arepas?
gonna make it with perico, which is like a staple for us. What we eat with arepas, it's pretty much eggs, scrambled eggs, with chopped onions and diced tomatoes,
Okay.
salt and pepper. Ooh, fire, bro.
I'm excited. Someone else is cooking for me on the channel.
So that we'll have that, and then the arepa. Traditionally, it's stuffed with whatever you want to stuff it with, whether it's like the perico itself or like ham, turkey, cheese. I mean, they get creative. They fill it with like anything.
Sweet.
So that's why I got ham and cheese. So
Yeah.
you can try one with ham and cheese because that's like a classic one.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll try whatever one you
So
recommend.
You're gonna eat good, bro.
I want the chef special. So we got the arepa, and then what is this? Just egg
Perico. Perico, which is pretty much just scrambled eggs, tomato, and onions.
and then what is this?
And then that's nata, which is heavy whipping cream with salt, just whipped until it becomes that texture.
This looks so good. Thank you.
You!
Want to get it outside?
Huh?
You want to get it outside?
Yeah,
Appreciate you cooking. Oh, that is so good. That cream.
yeah. Right, bro.
It's so good. I would have never thought to put that on my eggs. All right. Trying the arepa.
Hey.
That's pretty good. Wow, it's like it is kind of like a tamale,
Right?
but it's like thick.
Yeah.
I think it has a better like consistency than bread.
Yeah, arepa over bread all day.
Oh, that's good. It's like perfectly crispy. It's
Yeah.
chewy in the middle. This meal is definitely going in my breakfast rotation. And this is so different too because I usually only put ketchup on my eggs. Having like a heavy whipping cream with salt, I never would have thought that. Or this would be good on the sandwich too. I'm gonna throw some on there.
Oh, hell yeah. Whenever I want to put it on the arepa, I usually kind of like dip it. Because once this gets warm, it goes back to
Oh, really?
liquidy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's almost like the consistency of like a perfectly cooked sugar cookie, but not sweet.
Damn! down, bro.
Like it's like
It's crazy.
crispy on the outside, but chewy in the middle.
Hell yeah.
One of those things your parents always used to make.
Yeah. Sundays, we're eating this like for sure.
That's so sick. I don't think I ever had a like family breakfast. Went in for seconds with the perico inside, with some cheese, some cream on the top. Nice little to-go breakfast bucket, but I think we're probably just gonna host up here on the beach, hang out, enjoy the sun, maybe go swimming or surf a little bit later. I will catch you guys next time. Dead stingray just hanging out here right in front of where I'm camped out. Boy, little guy. Looks like it's fresh from like yesterday too. Feels good to get on, bro. I decided to pull back down into this little spot on the beach for one more day and get it running because I feel like I'm done making excuses for why I can't stay active. When I'm living in a vehicle, I always come up with excuses like I don't have a shower, there's no place for me to run, or a million other things. And Alan, and for those guys who haven't watched my videos, was a guy that I was traveling with for the last 3 days. He goes out for a run almost every morning, and he kind of inspired me to go today. So it feels good, but now I feel gross, and I have no way to feel ungross. Actually, yes I do. I have one more dude shower left. And it is so nice to be able to come out right here on the beach. It's gonna be kind of hard to leave this place, but we must continue our journey northward as far as this little tank will take us. I think it's time to leave this little beach paradise though. Get back on the road. I've also accumulated quite a few bags of trash that need to get thrown out. This has kind of become my temporary trash bin. Make sure we press our fun mode button. Turn on 4-wheel drive. Again, not that I need it, just makes me feel cool to use. So the first few days of living in the back of this thing, I was just throwing my laundry up there because it was kind of wasted space, but I didn't like having it up there. And I remember that this is just basically empty, so now this is where my laundry goes. And I really didn't pack a lot of clothes because of how small this car is, so I only have about a week and a half's worth of laundry before I need to do it each time, so I will probably be making a lot more stops at laundromats this trip than I normally would. I also don't have a laundry bag. So while I was waiting for this stuff to dry, I was looking at places I can go, and I think for today, we're gonna go check out Morro Bay, which is about 45 minutes. There are a few mountains I have to drive through in order to get there, but I don't think they're too steep, and I can also avoid highways, so it shouldn't be too bad. But we'll go explore there, and then probably find a place to stealth camp tonight. I don't know if we're gonna be able to find anything where we can get some wilderness camping, but I'll do my best when I get there, see what we can find. And then for the rest of the trip, I just found out from Googling it that part of Route 1 is closed And pretty much the only way around it are through mountain passes. There's one mountain pass on the highway called Gusto's Pass or Custos Pass that has like 8 miles of 7% grade, which I don't feel comfortable doing in this mini truck. And then there's one other option that has, I think, steeper grades, but it's not a highway, that I also don't really feel comfortable doing in the mini truck. So I'm not sure we're gonna be able to make it all the way up to San Francisco on this trip. Might just have to be another one once Route 1 is open again. It closed because of landslides. I thought that it opened because I read an article that it had, but I guess it was out of date. Because a few hours north of here, it is closed. But we're still gonna drive all the way up there and then turn around just wherever the road closes. And I only brought one hoodie for this trip because I didn't expect it to be super cold, but it's actually been quite chilly for the last 3 or 4 days. So we pretty much have 2 options for our route up to Morro Bay. There's one that goes kind of through the mountains, but I don't think the grades are too steep. And then there's one that's on the highway, and I think I'm gonna take the one that avoids the highway with potentially steeper grades because then I'll feel less pressure to go super fast and basically put my foot to the floor for 30 minutes. So we're taking back roads. All right, so this is our first hill. My pedal is all the way to the floor. We're going 28, according to that sign. My foot is pressed all the way down. This is why I don't like driving this thing on highways when there's hills. I don't know why this is squeaking so much now. Whatever. So I googled what restaurant can you not leave Morro Bay without trying, and the answer online said Tognazzini's dockside. So we're gonna go there, grab some lunch. Right across from Morro Rock, which I didn't know was even here. I didn't know Morro had a big rock, which you can't really see right now. You can kind of see the outline of it over there, over the ocean. There's clouds covering it, but it's a big rock. We're gonna go check that out too. And walking down here, this place really reminds me of Maine. When I went up to Bar Harbor with all these fishing boats in the bay and the cool rock. All right, I think this is it right here. There we go. Tognazzini's dockside. Can she get a table for one? You already know I can't come to a fishing town and not get the clam chowder. Look at that. I can tell by looks this is already gonna be very good. It's very thick. Tell there's a lot in there. Oh, that looks so good. Take those off of there. Don't like avocados. And she said this sauce doesn't normally come with it, but it's like a chipotle aioli. So I'm excited to try it. Oh, look at that. So good. I'm not gonna lie, it might be one of the best quesadillas I've ever had. But yeah, I will say, I don't normally say that about food. That is the best that I've had, but that borderline was one of the best seafood quesadillas, or even quesadillas in general. Everything about it was perfect. The cheese, the buttery seafood, the tortilla was crispy. Definitely gotta try it if you come through here. Clouds are giving a real mysterious vibe to the bay right now too. Such a creepy mist kind of covering everything. There's so many of them. Always chase them. That's where we're going next. That's a big rock. Those clouds rolling in look so cool. And look at that, there's a couple sea otters out there laying on their backs. And I can't get over how clear this water is. Look at them. Just rolling around in the seaweed. So some fun facts about this big rock is it's actually a volcanic plug, which I didn't even know was a thing until I read that online. But according to what I've read online, it's 23 million years old, or at least it formed 23 million years ago as the plug of a volcano, whatever that means. So it's mostly made of volcanic rock. It's 581 feet tall, and it is the remnant of a now extinct volcano. But now I get to walk around and read facts that I just looked up 5 minutes ago. Over on this side, there's just some beaches, and I think the rock is actually what's holding off these clouds, at least right on the other side of it. It's like parting them since they're so low to the ground. I guess technically it's fog. Either way. It's like parting the clouds. So right on the other side of this rock, it's sunny, but then everywhere else it's super foggy. But yeah, that's Morro Rock for you. You can almost see the clouds coming around that side, and then the clouds coming around that side. Mr. Big Rock splitting them in the middle. Oh, look at that. There's even a jellyfish right there. Moon jelly, maybe? I don't know. Correct me in the comments. Anyways, look at that majestic shot of the mini truck. But I don't know if there's anywhere that I can camp nearby. These small beach towns have given me nothing but trouble on this trip with getting kicked out, so I think I might drive a bit inland and find somewhere to camp. All right, and I think this is where we're gonna try to stay tonight, right in front of this dirt lot where hopefully no one will bother us. I ended up driving to the next beach town over, like 15 minutes. It's a little bit smaller. Hopefully we don't get kicked out tonight. There's no signs though, so should be okay. Correction. This is not the spot we can stay. That is where we were looking for, in front of that dirt lot. I think all of the spots over there might be full, but we're gonna go check it out. What does this say? No parking between the signs, Friday mornings, 8 to 12:30. Tomorrow is Friday. But worst case, I can honestly just get out of here before 8 a.m. And I'm sure before the night ends, someone will leave this parking lot and I can just take their spot, which it actually looks like people might be leaving right there. So absolutely impeccable timing. BEA useful. And now we get to wake up to a farmer's market. Nice. Well, barring we don't get kicked out of our spot. Kind of like right on the main street of this small town. I forget the name of it. I actually don't know how to say it. Cayucos? Cayucos? I don't know. But we're on the main street of that town. A little liquor store, Brown Butter Cookie Company. Main street, some eerie fog rolling through it, and I think we're right on the beach too. It's a great spot. Yeah, we are only one street away from the beach. Can't really tell because it's so foggy. There's a pier that goes all the way out there. But yeah, not bad. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna get to bed pretty early tonight because it's been a long last couple days. I just got a real simple meal to make for dinner tonight. I was gonna cook something up, but honestly that seafood quesadilla was a lot more than I thought it was gonna be, so still pretty full from that. So for dinner tonight, we're just doing a little chopped salad. I think for the rest of the night, just gonna hang out in here, finish my salad, maybe watch that new episode of Game of Thrones that came out. Not bad. So super light dressing, so it's not like very overpowering, but it actually is pretty good. 10 out of 10 though. Great salad. All right. Turn my light off so people can't see it as easily outside because these curtains kind of have a little space in between them when the wind's coming in. But the sun is almost fully set. I'm gonna use headphones tonight to watch my movie because I'm keeping my windows open and don't need people hearing it. And what I was talking about with my bed earlier is if I pull it out just like 3 or 4 inches instead of the full way, the slats stay more like solid, so they're not as like spread apart like where I'd be sleeping on them. So I can't feel them as much, and this bed is so much more comfortable like this. And it's still more than wide enough for me to sleep on. This table actually doubles. I found this out the other day as a perfect little stand to put it up on and watch movies. We made it. No one bothered us all night. I heard them setting up the farmer's market this morning. Slept great. Super quiet spot. And now I get to go check out that farmer's market. I also hate having to get out of the truck when there's a bunch of people around. Makes me feel like I'm like a little gremlin crawling out of his cave. It has to be done at some point. It's not like my van. Like in my van, I could crawl up to the front seat and get out and act kind of normal, but here I just had to like come out of the back door. It's whatever. Some smells delicious. Pretty small farmer's market. These your spices?
Yeah, it makes hamburger taste like a steak.
Hamburger tastes like steak. Ooh, that's pretty good.
And this one here, Santa Maria, but the one you get in the stores is really salty. This isn't.
This is prime rib seasoning.
Or Santa Maria style.
Oh, that's pretty good too. Yeah, I'll take one of the cow ones definitely.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You take care now.
Have a good one. All right, we didn't leave empty-handed. This guy was selling some seasonings, and I figured I always cook things in the van. No name spices, cow seasoning. So, we did a little backtracking back to Morro Bay because this is the only gym in the area. And I called ahead and they offer guest passes, so I'm gonna get a quick workout in and a nice shower here at this Anytime Fitness. There we go. Since that was a small gym, it was actually pretty nice. The shower was like real private. Actually, one of the nicer gym showers that I've been able to get clean at. But today we are continuing up on our last little stretch of Highway 1. I don't think we're gonna finish it out today before we hit the closure. The closure is near Limekiln State Park or something like that. It's about 3.5 hours north of here. So I don't think we're gonna make it all the way there today, but make it about halfway, find somewhere to camp and cook up some nice seafood for dinner. So I'm gonna go down to the fish market here in Morro Bay, see what they have. Bunch of stuff. I think honestly I'm gonna do some of this thresher shark because I've never had it before. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Fresh shark. Excited to see how this tastes, but I'm gonna have to look up how to cook this because I've never made it before. Nice and tucked away in the fridge. So I just gotta run to the grocery store on my way out of here. Grab a few more things for cooking with that shark. And to cook that shark, and we're hitting the road, continuing north. Hopefully find a cool campsite on some cliffs somewhere, just down Route 1, probably on the side of the road or something, but onward. All right, didn't really need to get much honestly for this recipe. I had a lot of the stuff, which is what I'm trying to do with a lot of these things because I don't have a lot of storage, obviously, in the back of the mini truck. So I'm trying to keep these recipes as minimalistic as I can, while also still trying to make good food. So from here, we are hopping on, in my opinion, the most beautiful section of Route 1 from, I think it goes down from Baja all the way up to the Olympic Peninsula up in Washington. And this section from where we're at in Morro Bay up until Big Sur in San Francisco is one of the most beautiful stretches of this highway. And I love driving it. There are some hills though that I'm kind of worried about, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but we'll see. Here we go. This is pretty much it. There is no other road pretty much for the rest of the entire drive if you're sticking along the coast in California. Route 1 is kind of it. So this is the road that we will be on for the rest of our trip. So the construction of this highway started in 1919 and they estimated that it was only going to cost $1.5 million to build, which is absolutely crazy that a road this long and through this rugged of terrain can be built for 1.5 million, but I guess money was a lot different back then. Today it would be over $1 billion and it would take 40 years. But the federal funds were appropriated to it in 1921, and San Quentin prison camp set up 3 temporary prison camps along this road to provide all the labor for it. And those prisoners were paid 35 cents a day, and their sentences were reduced for the labor that they provided for the road. And it's pretty amazing because once you get up here on this road, it's all mountains and it's all hilly and it's right along the coast, just kind of hugging these mountains, driving through them. And this stretch of road that we're driving on was some of the heaviest construction that went on because of how rugged the terrain is. They used 70,000 pounds of dynamite to blast through the marble, sandstone, and granite, and more than 10 million cubic yards of rock was blown away. There are 33 bridges along this road, and it is by far one of the most beautiful road trips that you can take in America. It's a little bit cloudy today, but on days where it's sunny, it is so beautiful. And I'm getting passed by so many cars. I feel so bad. We are coming up on the hill just before camp. This is the biggest hill of the trip so far, I think. We are cruising. Look at that view though. Beautiful. So we have got the pedal to the floor. Going just about 40 kilometers an hour. Come on, you can do it. But we should be pulling up on a spot that we can hopefully camp here pretty soon. I hope it's not too much in the clouds so we can get some of the view, but looks like we might be in the clouds, which sucks. It's all good though. So I think this is it right here. This is where we're gonna try to stay tonight. Skirt! Oh, and we got the nice flat spot up here in the corner. Beautiful. Now, if there wasn't clouds, you'd be able to see for miles in that direction. Oh, you can kind of see it. I'll get out. So on a nice sunny day, you're parked up here. Wow, look at that. You can see pretty much all the way down the coastline. And then the sunsets here, I mean, are spectacular, but it's a little bit too cloudy right now, so you can't really see too far. Oh, wow, that's really steep. It's kind of scary. But yeah, we are really up here. Still beautiful though. And what a place to cook some fresh shark too. Hopefully it clears up in the morning so I can show you guys more of the view, but I'm gonna try to find the most level spot. Park this bad boy. All right, so I think right here feels pretty level, and that way when I open my back door, poof, that's my view. I don't know though, there is a ton of space up here, so, and no one's up here because the highway's closed, so I can pretty much move it wherever I want to later. I need to, but this is good for now. All right. It is pretty chilly up here too. Wow. So I think before I do anything else, from what I was reading online with cooking this thresher shark, is that it is a very lean cut of meat, and it's recommended to soak it in milk. And it's not just for fun or for any kind of flavor. It's just because since it's so lean, it gets pretty dry, so if you soak it in milk before, it helps to keep it moist. So the things that I read online said to soak it for at least an hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that started before I do anything else. Look at that. Beautiful. And the view has cleared up a little bit since we got here. Hang on, I'll show you guys after I get this covered in milk. Set that up in a safe place. But you can kind of see more of the view now out of the back. Get some cinematic shots with the flowers. I will say it does suck that Route 1 is closed up the ways from here, but that just means we're gonna have to come back and do it again whenever it opens up, whether it's this summer, this winter, and finish out the rest of this trip all the way up Route 1. Because I just don't think I'm gonna be able to make it through those mountains. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it up to San Francisco, just because it's just a little much not being able to drive on Route 1 for this little mini truck to handle. I also have no service up in this spot. I have an hour to kill on that steak, and I have no idea what to do with myself. Ooh, look at that. A little feather. It's kind of cool. I've collected so many trinkets on this trip. Actually, I've only collected 2. My sand dollar and my feather. And then I also have that Garfield painting somewhere. I don't know where I put it though. Doesn't get much better than this. So a lot of the times when I'm on the road by myself, I try to avoid spots that don't have service, especially when I don't have my Starlink, which I kind of wish I had here. But I will say, it is kind of nice to just sit in places sometimes without music, without anyone being able to reach me, and just kind of be by myself and be a little bit more present than I usually am, because I'm so consumed by social media in all facets of my life. My job is social media. When I'm not doing my job, I'm sitting on TikTok or Instagram or playing video games. I feel like a lot of the times I forget to kind of slow down and take in what I'm doing and kind of be a little bit more thankful for this life that I get to live, sitting up here on the coast of California by myself. And I'll let you guys kind of join me in it for the next 30 seconds or so. That was nice, but it's been about an hour, so this little fillet of shark should be ready to go. And I think I'm gonna do a broccoli kind of side with it, so let's get to cooking because I am starving. So there isn't much prep that goes into the shark over there, but one thing I do have to prep is the broccoli. And I think that's the only thing that I have to prep, actually. We'll get that out, we'll get that started. So it really does kind of suck not having an oven. Not being able to just bake stuff, so I kind of have to just pan sear everything. I guess it's not the worst. There we go. Honestly, pretty simple for the broccoli. Take our shark, take it out of its little milk bath, and then we'll just rinse that off under some water. Pat that dry. And we'll get it into another fresh bowl. Then we can go ahead and get this bad boy nice and seasoned. And for that, we need some lemon juice. You can use fresh lemon juice, or like me, just use this bottle. Some soy sauce, going right in on the top. A little bit of rice vinegar going on top, not too much of that. And we can hit it with some ginger, some ground ginger. Just a little bit of this all-purpose seasoning. Make sure to get that on both sides. And then for a little bit of spice, just a touch of red pepper flakes. There we go. That is pretty much it for our shark seasoning. And now that we've got that, we can kind of just get started cooking. I'm gonna try to cook both of them at the same time. Don't know how well that's gonna work, but we'll see. And I think tonight we're breaking out the big boy pan. Cook up that broccoli. So first thing I do before I get started cooking either of these is I got these pine nuts to add into my broccoli. It's kind of like a little garnish. But I gotta cook these up real quick before I do anything else. So we get a little bit of oil in this pan. Get the fire on that. I'll pack it nice and hot. Throw the pine nuts in there and cook them for just about 2 to 3 minutes. Basically until they start to get some color, and then pull them out. Just get them nice and toasted. There we go, just kind of like that. Got a little bit of color on them. Take those off. Set them aside in this bowl. Then we can get started on the rest of this. So put some more oil in both of these pans, just a little bit. And since this pan is already pretty hot, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw my broccoli in there now. We just kind of want to cook those until they turn nice and bright green. I think this other pan is nice and up to temp, so we can go ahead and throw our shark fillet on there. And according to the directions I read online, we'll let that cook for roughly 5 minutes-ish on each side. While we wait to flip that, we're gonna get our broccoli seasoned up, just simply with this all-purpose again. This thing is a lifesaver. It's great on pretty much everything. That's seasoned, tossed in there nicely. And then now that that broccoli is kind of cooked and nice and bright green, add in some of our garlic. Let that get nice and fragrant for about 2 to 3 minutes. And I think I might have left this cooking for too long. This fire is super hot. A little bit crispy. But we'll cook that for right around maybe 3 to 4 minutes on the other side. But the final thing you got to do to this broccoli is add some chicken stock, but I didn't feel like buying a big old box of chicken stock. So I just got some water and then a cube of bouillon. Get some water in the pan, a little bit of this bouillon, mix that all in there. Making a little bit of broth basically. And then we'll just let that kind of cook and tenderize and get that cooked. This pan is too slippery. I gotta get rid of this pan and get a new one. I'm gonna lose something one day. I almost just lost my whole steak. Now we can get this out of the pan and then just let it rest while we wait for our broccoli to finish. There we go. Should be good. Nice and tender broccoli. Get that out. Top our broccoli with those pine nuts and then some grated Parmesan. Now we can eat. And the view with dinner ain't half bad either. Nicer if it wasn't cloudy, but. Whoa, that is so good. I've never cooked broccoli this way. Oh, I've always just got it nice and crispy. Wow. And it also got mixed in with the juice of the fish, so I don't know if it's actually just the broccoli or some of this shark, but there we go. You're not supposed to eat a lot of shark. Since it is a predatory fish, there's a lot of mercury in it, so shouldn't be eating it all the time, but it's so dense. It's not quite like steak dense, but very meaty, but very good. Beautiful. You can still kind of see the water, just not as much as it could. Delicious. So now that dinner's done, I'm not really too sure what I'm going to do with the rest of my night, considering I didn't really plan for a night without service. Don't have a book, don't have a downloaded movie, don't really have anything to do, if I'm going to be quite honest. Might end up getting to bed pretty early tonight, but when I was out earlier waiting for the shark to be done in the milk, I did find this other point out here that had a pretty cool lookout. Don't know if we're going to be able to see anything, but I'll take you guys out there real quick. It's a little bit more exposed of a lookout, but walked over here earlier. Pretty crazy. I don't know how far out I want to step because I don't know how solid this is below, but look at that. It's absolutely stunning. Beautiful night for some shark on a cliff. The sun has fully set. It's already 9 o'clock. I have so many little hitchhikers from outside in my socks, and I have no service, so not really much else to do. But I do have this little Abraham Lincoln book that I haven't opened or read in a while, so might as well dig into that tonight. Best president of all time. I've read so many books on this man. If you ever get the chance, read his autobiography. It's really good. One of my favorite quotes from him that I have memorized by heart, and I'll leave you with before I go to bed, is: "The great mass of men were utterly unconscious that their minds or conditions were capable of improvement," which basically says no matter what you got going on in your physical life, going on around you, or in your head, it's something that can always improve. But that is just a quote that I remember from one of the books that I read on him. Anyways, I never use this light. My little fan light, I forgot I had it for a while. I'm gonna use that as my reading light. Read some of this and get to bed. Good morning. Slept pretty well last night. Wasn't a lot of traffic on Route 1, obviously, because the road's closed, so nobody was really passing through at nighttime. Oh wow, it's a lot clearer today than it was yesterday. Looks like there's a wall of clouds pushing in, but beautiful. And it looks like we ended up getting some neighbors last night. But today is the first day that I have actually the foresight to get some coffee. It's not regular coffee, it's just some Folgers instant coffee. But it's nice to be able to wake up and have some. Get the inverter turned on. I actually haven't used the 120 volt plugs on this very much this trip. And I actually don't even know if this power station is powerful enough to kick this thing on, heat me up some hot water. But we're about to find out in about right now. Yes, it is. It's on, it's warming up. This thing is kicking into overdrive though. Jeez. I don't even know if I have enough battery left to do this. It's going down, the percentages are going down by the second. We're at 14, 13, 12. I don't know if my water's gonna heat up before the battery dies. 9, 8, 7. Come on. And the battery died. So close to boiling too. Oh, or you know what? Might not be boiling, but that water's pretty hot. So I think today, once I finish this coffee, I'm gonna do it outside. I'm gonna take you guys up that last little stretch of Route 1 that we have left to drive, and then turn back around and start heading back south towards home. I don't really know what else there is on Route 1 before it closes. It closes about 30 miles up the road. Hopefully something cool.
Bad, eh?
Yeah, definitely not bad to wake up to.
It's a cool little rig you got there.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese mini truck.
Mind if I take a look?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, no problem. What was your name?
Kale.
Kale?
Yeah.
Ryan.
Hey,
Nice to meet you.
Enjoy the rest of your trip.
Thanks, you as well. So that's Kale from Canada. They were going up Route 1, heading back to Canada, and didn't realize it was closed. So now they're backtracking back and around onto the highway. But yeah, not a bad spot for some morning coffee. B-E-A, beautiful. I gotta say, this instant coffee isn't really that bad, but it does leave a kind of bad aftertaste in your mouth. I was gonna cook breakfast here, but I don't think I'm going to because I kind of want to see if there's a small business along the 1 that I can go into and get some food, because with it being closed for as long as it has, I'm sure they'd appreciate it. So hopefully we can find some little small shop to get some breakfast or get some snacks. But anyways, let's get out of here. So I still have no service, so I can't look anything up. So I don't know if there's anywhere where I can get food that way down the 1. I should have asked that guy. But that is mission number 1. Find food. I wasn't so glad you'd be able to see the ocean off this cliff over here, but unfortunately it is. Going higher and higher. Yeah, I guess we're not going to be able to check out the views as much as I thought we would be able to, because the higher we go, and it's just been constant uphill for the last 10 minutes. The more we're getting into these clouds and the less we're able to see, so kind of sucks. And I did drive by a restaurant back a ways, but it was pretty close to where I camped last night, so I didn't feel like stopping right there. But worst case, once we get to the end, we'll just stop there on the way back. And I got a lot of comments on my last video and of the posts I've been making on my Instagram account that people think they could push this over or it would roll over in any kind of wind. I drove through a few serious windstorms when I was close to the beach on the way here, and honestly I didn't even think about it for a second that this thing would blow over. And I'm going around these turns kind of fast, and this thing is pretty stable. I'm very surprised with how well this little mini truck has handled this entire trip. It's been very, very impressive. But I'm not gonna lie, even before this trip and when I was building this mini truck, I thought I was getting it in over my head. The comments were kind of getting to me saying this would never work, this is a stupid idea, why would you do this? It's so much smaller than your van, it's such a downgrade, which I knew. I never built this to be an upgrade for my van, I just thought it was gonna be cool. But it started to get to me that maybe this isn't gonna work, maybe it is too much weight, maybe the mini truck can't handle it, but I guess it's just a testament to you don't know until you try. And we are just crawling along at just under 40 kilometers an hour going up these hills. So glad there's no one else on this road. There we go, we're finally getting back out of that cloud layer. You can see the ocean now. It's off to the left there. Nice downhill stretch for another uphill stretch, it looks like, across this little way here. But this is what I was talking about with this road going through rugged terrain. I mean, it's just hanging off the side of cliffs for the next like 70 miles if it wasn't closed, which is crazy. Black sand beaches down there. Kind of reminds me of the roads up in Alaska. But I am gonna be honest, the road is closed about 10 miles up that way. And I think we're just gonna be driving uphill back into the clouds again. So I think this is where I'm gonna call it. and this is gonna be my turnaround point because I'm also getting kind of low on gas. I mean, I have like 3/4 of a tank, but it's been chipping away. Every time I drive up a hill, I lose like a quarter tank. Turn around up here, head back, get some breakfast at that place, start my journey southward. This is the end of our journey northward. We've already started our way back south, and I'm gonna check out a few places on my way back, but I think that is it for today. So if you've watched all my videos coming up here, I truly appreciate you guys. I would not be able to do this kind of stuff, build out this mini truck, or do these travels without you, so thank you. Once I finish this, I'm getting out of here, heading south, so I'll catch you guys next time. Today, I have one last trial that I'm putting the K-Truck camper through, and that is its final mountain pass before we kind of get back over the coastal range and onto the right side of the coast, where the roads, as long as you hug the coast, are relatively flat and even. And essentially, for getting back over this coastal range, I have two options, one of which I took on the way here on the main highway. That was absolutely terrifying, with cars driving around me going 60 miles an hour and me going 25, 30 up mountain passes on the highway. So I don't think I want to do that one again. So instead of taking that route down Route 1 through Gavocia, we're gonna take back roads down the range here, past Lake Ketchuma, up through the range here, and then we're back down to Santa Barbara. I do think I might try to find a spot on top of the mountain to camp tonight and cook up some Japanese hibachi, because that's something I haven't done since we're in a Japanese key truck. I thought it might be fun to cook some hibachi in the back. So I might try to find a spot tonight on top of that mountain to camp. But before we can get started with any of that, we are kind of back in the city now, so there's more amenities, and I think I might go take advantage of this Planet Fitness that's a few minutes away, get a workout, get a shower, get my day started right. Also, yesterday when I was driving down the road, I drove past this stand that was selling Japanese bonsai trees, so I picked one up. I haven't found a spot in the back of the camper, so it's kind of just sitting up here in the front for now, but I couldn't just drive by it in my Japanese K-Truck and not get it, so got a little shotgun rider now. Beautiful. All nice and clean. I got my new shirt on. Feeling good. Also, did have my first mishap with the truck yesterday. I had two black zip ties on here, now one's white, because I left the lights on and the battery died, so I had to get someone to come out and give me a jump. But luckily I was in town, so it only took like 15 minutes. Just gotta remember to make sure I turn my lights off. It's something you take for granted in newer cars, they automatically turn off, but even in my old car that I had, that was an 04 Mustang, before I had the van, if I would leave my lights on, it would beep at me to remind me to turn them off. But this car doesn't do anything. It doesn't tell you if your lights are on. And during the day, it's kind of hard to tell. Let's see how we're doing on power, too. Started off the day at 0. It died this morning. My fan just turned off at like 8 a.m. But it's been sunny, so we're back up to 37%. Got 135 watts coming in from solar and only 95 watts coming out from fridge and lights. And when I turn the lights off, it'll be a lot less. It'll charge faster. Fridge only draws about 50 when it's on, when the compressor's on, and the compressor's not always on. Once it's cooled to temp, the compressor will kick off. That is only the second time that I've run out of power on this trip. The first time was because I ran my kettle and it went from like 17 to 0 in 3 seconds. Other than that, it's been more than enough power for me to live on. Anyways, let's get to the store and get some stuff for our deluxe hibachi dinner tonight in the back of my K-Truck. And I think since this is one of the last nights that I'm gonna have on this trip before I make my way back home, I'm gonna kind of try to go all out and make a big hibachi dish. Have a good one. It's the coolest thing about this mini truck is, it doesn't matter what age you are. I've had 5-year-olds and I've had 80-year-olds. It doesn't matter what race you are, what sex you are. I've had girls, guys, every single walk of life come up to me, and it's just, I think this thing is universally cool to everyone. There's no subset of people that think this is cooler than other people. I almost don't even feel bad when I'm driving slow on the roads, because the people behind me, whenever they drive by, they're always smiling, looking out the window, honking. It's pretty cool to be able to just drive a car down the road and put smiles on people's faces just for the basic fact that they saw it. And it makes me kind of proud because I built it with help, obviously. Shout out Trevor and Kyle and Nick, but nonetheless, Still cool. But I do really have to find a place to put this bonsai. Probably figure that out tonight before I get to cooking. Beautiful view from this Walmart parking lot. You can see the ocean off in the distance. Just in case I don't run out tonight. Should have everything we need now. Just get it all packed away. Alrighty. Let's hit the road. Of this mini truck, and I know this mountain pass. I've driven it before, and before I left I googled the flattest route back home and it said this was it, and I guess it's because it was mostly flat all the way up to here, but I know that this mountain pass is anything but flat, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous about it, but hopefully the little tank can do it. And we're only doing half today and half tomorrow, which I think should make it a little bit better, but I think pretty much from here on it's all uphill. It is beautiful though. But this is it. We're climbing from here. Luckily there is nobody behind us because we're going pretty fast. We're going almost 80 kilometers an hour. We're gonna get a running start going down this hill for this next uphill section. Going almost 100 kilometers an hour right now. Which feels faster than the mini truck, but it's really not that fast. All right. I officially have my pedal to the floor. We are slowing extremely rapidly now. My foot could not be pressed any harder on this pedal. We're going 60 and slowing. We are crawling up this hill. This little mini truck makes it over this mountain. I swear to God, the first thing I'm doing is taking it into the shop and getting it tuned up. Oh, this engine sounds like it's about to explode. Luckily, we were only a quarter mile away or half mile away from the spot that we're camping on the top up here. Not the top of the pass, but at least we'll give her a little break before she has to finish this out tomorrow. Little guy made it. At least made it to camp. Whether he will finish it out tomorrow, we will find out. But he is getting a much deserved break. Wow. I'm sweating. This has definitely been the most stressful part of the drive that I've had to do so far. But he's killing it. Give him a little rest. Wow. I don't know how much more of this mountain is left. We've made a decent amount of progress up here. Pretty high elevation. Bunch of cool signs. Yeah. Yeah, I built it myself. I'm just taking a little break because going up this pass is like, it's crazy in this thing. Are you guys traveling from Florida?
Well, so I bought this in Seattle.
This thing is cool too.
I met it online, or found it online. We flew out on...
Yeah, this thing is crazy cool. I've always wanted one of these too. Rick? Ryan.
Hey Ryan.
Nice to meet
my
you.
daughter Daisy.
I do YouTube videos traveling in this thing, so that's
Oh,
why I'm filming
Okay.
everything. But
Yeah, so yep,
does the top pop up?
it does.
I got a little kitchen up there.
Yeah.
What is this, like storage back here?
Yeah, the storage is pretty minimal.
I can tell by the suitcases.
Yeah, I wish we hadn't brought them, but to fly. So I just keep
Oh yeah, it's really small in there.
There's tons of room for the two of us. We didn't sleep
Yeah.
comfortable. We slept in here every night, even when we had the choice of staying with friends at their house.
That's what I always do with my old van. I always stayed in the van even when I had a bedroom available to me, because it feels like it's like at least for me it felt like the van was home.
So I'm not sure how many gallons you got in the tank, but it's got a little sensor that tells you where you're at. We're about half
Oh, that's
full.
cool. So you own Kiwi's Pub and Grill?
I do.
You're ever in El Monte Springs, Florida?
Altamonte.
How do you say it?
Altamonte.
Altamonte?
Oh, we call it Altamont.
Kiwi's Pub and Grill. Have a good one. They're so cool looking. But anyways, before he pulled in, I was over here reading these signs, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about with there's no other option than to go through these mountains. There's no way around them. So you've got Gavosha Pass, which is the one I took on the way here. So I came down Route 1, went up through here, and then kind of went out this way. This time I drove around down through here, past Lake Kachima, and then we're just about like right here maybe. And then the top of the pass is 3 miles uphill down that road. So I might try to get out of here early tomorrow morning to avoid the traffic and kind of get out of here when there's not as many people driving on the road. But definitely can't beat the views up here. This is spectacular. Beautiful. But I'm getting hungry. So I'm gonna get started cooking and see if we can find a place to put this little bonsai. It's so cute. I actually think I'm gonna back into this spot so I can open my door and not have it open up to the parking lot. I was kind of hoping it would fit up there, but it just barely doesn't. I just have to keep it on the floor for now and then build something to put it in once I get back home, but it'll sit there for now. It's pretty hot up here. Definitely not as cool as it's been by the ocean. I'm gonna sit down and cool off a little bit and then get started on cooking some hibachi. All right. Yeah, I'm giving myself enough time to cool off. At the very least to get my rice started. So that's cooked and ready to go. Whenever we're ready to cook the rest of the meal. And then once that's boiling, we set it aside. I'll get started on cooking the rest of the stuff, which shouldn't take too long, honestly. It's not very complex of a recipe, but I'm starving, so I hope this rice cooks quick. Alrighty. Take this off. Set that to the side. Let that finish cooking. And now we can get started on prepping the rest of the stuff. First, I don't want to mess up my new shirt, so throw it on the apron. Beautiful. We're going to start off with prepping these veggies. Just about half of that onion fine diced for our fried rice, and the other half we're going to cut into kind of big chunks. But before we do that, I'm actually going to cut a sliver off for something I want to try out later. So there we go. Big chunk. Fine dice. Now we're going to peat that with the carrots, and then we're just going to big chunk these bad boys. I also don't have a peeler, but when in doubt, you can always just use a spoon. So now the same process. We're going to fine dice one of these and leave the other one nice and big pieces. There you have it. Everything nice and prepped up, ready to go. And our rice is coming along beautifully. It's just about finished. So now that we got the vegetables out of the way, prep the meat. Beautiful. So now we can take our freshly cut up sections of meat, get those into a bowl, get some soy sauce on those bad boys. And I'm cheating a little bit. We're gonna throw some of this Japanese barbecue sauce on there. Go ahead and get those mixed together nicely. There we go. Beautiful looking meat. And with that all done, I think we're just about ready to get started cooking. So I think I'm gonna start with the fried rice and then do the meat after. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Get just a little bit of oil in the pan. Then we can crack an egg in there, get that nice and scrambled up. And then it's kind of just as simple as throwing the rest of the fried rice ingredients in there. So we'll throw some of this onion, put that in there, some of this carrot, that in there. Beautiful. As well as some peas. Now to this mixture, we can add some butter, nice healthy knob of it. Get that started melting. Throw in our cooked rice. And then just hit that with some soy sauce and let that fry up for like 5 minutes, 5-ish minutes. I had to open the door again because it was getting too hot in here. It was cooking, but that's just about it. That is our fried rice finished up, and I made a little bit too much of this, so I'm going to have to put it into 2 bowls, I think. Maybe it'll fit in one. It'll definitely fit in one. And then for the rest of the stuff, I'm essentially just going to stir fry it, so it'll be super easy. And for seasoning, you can either use soy sauce. In my case, I'm going to use, since I have it, Japanese barbecue sauce. Throw some of that on everything, as well as some salt. And we'll just let this cook up for right around 10 minutes. This smells so good. It also almost feels better to sit down and cook because I get the cool air blowing on the back of my neck as opposed to standing over it and getting blasted by the heat from the stove. And I can still see in there, so it's nice. But this is just about done. There we go. I think that is it. Oh, this looks so good. So now, we just gotta plate everything. Look at that. It's my little volcano. Now you just have to imagine me pushing it around with flames coming out of it. Choo-choo, choo-choo. Now that, my friends, is a proper plate of hibachi. And you can't have hibachi without yum sauce. Oh, it feels so good. Cheers. Oh. I have not had hibachi in so long, let alone one of my favorite sauces in the whole world, which is yum yum sauce. And I'm so in the mood for exactly this. I couldn't have picked a better meal for tonight. I've never had that Japanese barbecue sauce before. I don't know if that's what's making the steak so good. I will say though, I am a little bit worried because hibachi does always give me a stomachache, maybe because I always eat too much when I go to hibachi. But there's no bathroom up here. Hopefully that stomachache holds off till tomorrow morning when we get down the other side of this mountain. Absolutely wonderful dinner. Very good way to end a day of stressful driving. It is nice that it is finally back to the easy stuff tomorrow. There is this little trail that kind of goes up around the corner that I want to check out. So I will take you guys with me. Looks like there might be a lovely sunset going on over here. Look at that. So bright. It's perfect weather too. That. See the lake off in the distance? Such a nice night out. Wow, not a cloud in the sky. If you look closer, you can kind of even see the sunset like glistening off that river. And the cameras never do it justice when you come up to a place like this, but it is absolutely spectacular looking out over this. But anyways, finally cooled off a little bit. Feeling good in here. Belly's full. I don't have service up here though, which kind of sucks, so I won't be able to really do much of anything for the rest of the night, but I probably will be getting out of here very early in the morning. 1, because I want to get back to service, and 2, because I want to beat a lot of the traffic and be able to just kind of slowly get my way up there without the pressure of having someone behind me on the mountain. But it is starting to get to that time of night. Oh, the window shades. Start getting ready for bed. We are running kind of low on power. We're at 25%. I'm gonna get this big main light off. Just use my night light for the rest of the night while I get ready for bed. And I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning. It is currently 7:30. Watch is wrong. I think it's time to get out of here. Send it up the rest of that mountain. Jesus, I just fell out of the truck. But I'm gonna get the car started real quick. Get it warming up. I still do it. Go to the wrong side of the car. Not a bad view to wake up to. Tucked in. Here we go. She's doing it. There's probably some very upset people behind me right now, but that's okay. They'll get over it once we get to the top and I pull over and let them pass. Go on, good people in normal cars. The downhill sign, we're almost at the top. I think that might be it right there. Wow. I think we made it. Mountains can't hold him back. We made it to the top. Now we just got a 7% grade for the next 8 miles downward, so that'll be fun. Woohoo! We made it. Absolutely beautiful. Back to the beach. This truck has been so much fun to drive around, and it's definitely been one of the coolest travel experiences that I've had in a long time. Very excited to have successfully made this journey. Well, I guess not fully yet, because I still got to drive a little bit of a ways back, but we're at the beach again. It's right there. And I think I'm just gonna stay here for the day, hang out and go grab myself a coffee and get some work done. So I think that is going to be it for this video. Truly appreciate you guys coming on this trip with me and allowing me to do crazy stuff like build out this Japanese mini truck into a camper and drive it up the California coast. I would not be able to do it without you guys, and I do not say it enough. I know I say it every video, but I truly appreciate you guys for watching, clicking, liking, subscribing, leaving positive comments. I read through most of them. I don't get to reply to all of them, but I really do appreciate you guys, and I will catch you guys next time.